Greetings and welcome back to the Osha Cerese Show. I am your host, Osha Cerese, and this is where culture meets coaching, where healing meets headlines, and where we utilize alchemy to transmute gossip into growth. Welcome back. Welcome for the first time. If this is your first time joining, make sure that you are subscribed to my channel because this is where this show lives. It lives on my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/at Osha Cerese. And don't just subscribe, turn those notifications on because this is a pop-up show. So you never know when, what time I'm gonna pop up. You know I'm gonna come live and talk to y'all every day during the week. But you never know what time. So make sure your notifications are on by tapping that bell as well. The link is in my bio, so that makes it easier to get to the show. Thank you all for tuning in. This is episode 29. We made our accomplishment. We set the intentions at the end of January to show up every day, not just weekday, but every day in the month of February for an hour a day or more. I think there was only one episode where I gave you less than an hour, maybe another one that was like 59 minutes. But there were some shows that we were on for an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. So I made up for it. But the point is, we set the intention and we accomplished the goal. So this is episode 29. This past weekend was the first weekend that I took off since we started because it was every day. But this month we're going to focus on weekdays and allow your girl to rest, reset, get some topics and all of that over the weekend. So thank you all for tuning in. Again, I am Osha Cerese. I'm a certified life coach, a event coordinator, or event curator, as I like to say. And I am a dream doula, supporting you with birthing your ideas, making your dreams into a reality. So again, if you are not subscribed yet, please do so. YouTube.com/at Osha Cerese. We celebrated Black History Month all February long, and it still goes on. Celebrated all month, last month, and beyond. But this is Women's History Month. March is Women's History Month. So I just want to say happy new month, happy March. This is my first time seeing y'all since last month. And happy Women's History Month. We're going to be highlighting some things representing the ladies this month. We still going to be sprinkling in Black history because, it ain't over. We Black 365 days a year. So cheers to happiness, great health, success, love, abundance, joy, all good things. Cheers. The drink of the evening is berry punch. Boop. Cheers. You can't sip that. You gotta gulp it. I don't know. Berry punch hits different. It ain't the healthiest choice, but it sure does quench your thirst. I don't know if it quenches your thirst, but it definitely does your taste buds. It does your taste buds right. So again, happy new month, happy March, happy Monday, happy life. I hope you all are doing well. What did I do this weekend? I did get a lot of rest. I ain't gonna say a lot, but I got some rest. Um, I almost forgot I had a client on Sunday. Literally, I was up all night Saturday night, just chilling. Like, oh, I got a weekend off. I haven't had a weekend off in a while, and I'm like, I have a client. So I had to get me some rest, but I didn't get much rest before our session. But it went well. It's fine. I caught up. I've been telling y'all that I'm going to be reviewing this season of Ready to Love. Now, I told y'all before, every year when Ready to Love comes on, that's one of my favorite dating shows. I'm glued to the TV and I just like to just watch it for my own entertainment purposes. And I always say, oh, I'm going to review it. And I never do. So I said I was going to review this season, especially because Love is Blind is on as well. And it's just boring to me. And I did review Love is Blind last season. But this one is I'm just watching it. And most of the time it's just on as background noise. So Ready to Love this season is going well. I did watch all of the episodes, but on Sunday, I rewatched them and took my notes. So prepare for the review this week. Before the next episode comes on Friday, I will have my review of the first 4 episodes so far and of the cast. So stay tuned for that. But back to Women's History Month. I wanted to kick off Women's History Month on this show by playing this clip that Essence released. Essence recently had a Black Women in Hollywood event last week. And they posed the question to many of the guests on the red carpet, what do Black women deserve? And I just want to play this, and I want to let you know which one touched me the most. Let me see if I can let y'all see it. And another part of my homework assignment is to play around with this app, because it don't make no sense that this is the 29th episode. There's features of this app where I can pull up things on the screen for y'all. But Auntie is auntieing now. Like, I'm having a little trouble figuring it out when it comes to uploading on this computer. And let me just see if it works, because maybe I can do it. It would be better if y'all could see it directly on the screen versus me holding it up, wouldn't it? Let's see. I'm entering the studio from my computer. Now the thing is, I don't want... Let me see. Let's just try this real quick, and if it doesn't work, we'll stop it. It's okay. Let's see. Okay, let me do a sound check. Okay. This week's episode. I wanted to see if I could do it. I still got to figure that part out. And this is so funny because this is reminiscent of the first episode from February. I tried the same thing while we were live and it didn't work. I have tested it out before and it worked, but I'm gonna reach out to somebody who can help me with that. So until then, I'm gonna hold it up, but let me play this clip and let y'all see, or let y'all listen. Black women deserve everything. Freedom from solving all of your problems. Oh my God, it's respect. Every doggone thing. Smile and sleep. More grace. Credit. Happy life. Wealth, prosperity, and love. Love that is filled with reciprocity. Everything. 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 Black women deserve it all. It all. Black women deserve everything. Freedom from solving all of your problems. That was the one for me. And it's interesting because once she said that, and let me get her name, because I know she's on the show Sisters, but I'm not familiar with her name. So let me just give her a shout out. Give her a shout out. Her name is Novi Brown. When she said freedom from solving other people's problems, it hit different because as a black woman, we are often the shoulder for people to cry on, the listening ear, the word of advice. We're holding space. We're, just lifting people up. We're solving the problems. We're coming up with solutions. We're there for the support. We're rooting for people, encouraging people, doing all of the things with little to no maybe appreciation, reciprocation, validation, any of that. So I just wanted to shout out Black women and just, I know it's up to us to set our boundaries. I know it is up to us to, set our limits. It's up to us to take naps when we need to take naps. It's up to us to protect our energy and all of that. But we often do these things out of love because we're natural nurturers, because we want to see people win, because we can relate to how they're feeling, because we want this type of love in return, but we don't hesitate to give it even if it's not reciprocated. So at the very least, if we're not able to set the boundaries ourselves, or if other people aren't able to see that they need to stop leaning on us so much to solve everybody's problems, at the very least, show your appreciation. So if nobody else has told you they appreciate you and all the things that you do to support others, to solve other people's problems, to uplift people, to root for people, to be that listening ear, shoulder to cry on, that bosom to lay on, whatever, you are appreciated. You are deserving of happiness, joy, reciprocation, love, honor, respect, and peace. So shout out to you, Black women. And thank you. Shout out to NBA City. Thank you for the love. He says, love the channel queen. I appreciate you. So that was what I wanted to say for the kickoff of Women's History Month, because again, we still celebrate Black History too. We Black 365 days a year. And so some of the things I wanted to talk about today to just ease us on into the main topics. I saw a post on Joseline Hernandez's channel on her Instagram. Hold on one second. Let me get to my notes. So we all know we were introduced to Joseline Hernandez on Love and Hip Hop when she was with Stevie J. She was kind of in a trouble or whatever you want to call it between Stevie J and Mimi Faust. And she came in with a bang. I've always liked Joseline. I ain't gonna lie. I've always thought she was just funny and confident and just authentically herself. Don't give a damn. When you see her first major interaction on the show, the one that sticks out in my mind, I know everybody always references when she came in the house at Mimi's house and Stevie J said, "You're not gonna speak?" And she said, "Hey maid, I see you got your maid outfit on like you always do." People always reference that. But the first quotable Joseline Hernandez quote or line that I love is, because let's not pretend like we don't be looking at ratchet shit sometimes. Something happened between Erica Dixon, which is Lil Scrappy's oldest daughter's mother, and Stevie J at some type of event. So, of course, when she told Lil Scrappy he got to represent for his woman, him and Erica Dixon were together at the time. And when he went to go confront Stevie J about it, Joseline Hernandez was right by Stevie J's side. So I think she was getting involved in the argument. So Erica was like, "Who are you?" And she's like, "I'm Joseline Hernandez, baby." And to me, like, personality through the roof. And they started fighting and stuff. They ended up squashing their stuff later on, I believe. But I just thought that was just like, bam, that was her introduction to the world. But of course, before she made it into the love and hip hop universe, she was a dancer. She was a stripper. I don't know if she met Stevie J in a strip club, but all I know is every time he would get mad at her or feel like he's losing control of what she was doing, he would always say, "I'm sending you back to the strip club." And she would cry. And, you know, that was a pain point for her. And he knew that triggering her or poking at that pain point would lower her self esteem or put her into an emotional state, and he can get her to do what he needed her to do. And she made it clear that she was not going back to the strip club. She told him that in that moment when he said that publicly for the first time, that I'm not going back. So the reason why she was on my radar today is because I saw a post of hers. Um, this post right here, and you can see glam, amazing, looks beautiful. She's with her man, Ballistic, and this is what she said in the caption. "I never went back to the strip club, and the man that makes my greatest hits is fine as he can be. I'm like Mama D, bitch, I deserve. Our new single release party in New York went like this. Did you did you ever really love me? Go download. I like the way you are." So she's just showing some highlights of her single release party. And the reason I want to shout her out is because, again, she was in this toxic love triangle on Love and Hip Hop. It was bad. When she was with Stevie J, she was really heavily drinking and doing cocaine and weed and all kind of drugs. Her music, with Stevie J being a producer, a really well-known producer, worked with Bad Boy, produced, alongside with Jodeci and the big names. Um, the music that him and Joseline were making together, some of it was all right. But it's like nobody really took her music seriously. And I don't know if he was trolling with some of the songs. Some of the songs was cool. But then, you saw the viral post of her in the studio, looked like she was on drugs or whatever, just yelling and screaming out and sweating. And it just wasn't a good look. She's constantly was in fights and drama and all these things. I think when she had her daughter, it kind of slowed her down and allowed her to mature really fast because, um, we saw on Love and Hip Hop that she was pregnant by Stevie J early on in their relationship, but she ended up having an abortion. But when she decided to have her daughter, Bonnie Bella, it kind of made her have to mature very quickly. And she made some changes in her life. So although she's still herself, she's still always been herself. She's authentically her. You have seen some growth and maturity in her. And she went from being with Stevie J, being on drugs and drinking a lot, fighting a lot, to leaving the Love and Hip Hop empire and going to Zeus Network, which does have some toxic shows on there, including her show could be a toxic as well. I've never seen any show on Zeus. I've only seen the highlights that show up on the social media. I don't really too much care for shows that is just surrounded by a lot of fighting and abusive situations. I could see there's entertainment elements throughout it, but it's just overall too much violence for me. Um, but she's over there executive producing her own show, her own concept, having multiple seasons, taking her show Joseline's Cabaret on the road as a tour. So even though she's not returned to the strip club as a stripper or an exotic dancer, she has done some shows at the strip club where she has them packed out, and she's not she's not a stripper, she's a performer. She's doing her songs, and the whole crowd knows her music. And some people may still not take her music seriously, but some people do. They like it. This party music. It blends. It's kind of like a um Latino hip hop fusion because she is Puerto Rican. So you hear a lot of that. You hear the Florida influence. She represents a lot at Fort Lauderdale. She got that song Lauderdale Ho that everybody chants and her husband is a producer, so he makes all her beats. And some of her songs have gone viral on TikTok, which people criticize that, but once you have a viral song on TikTok, it's up. So I think one of her first viral songs was "Do It Like It's My B-Day." Do It Like It's My B-Day. And that went so viral, it was on the last season of Insecure. So she's just really elevating. And then if you ever see any of her content when she's including her daughter, you can tell that she's very protective over her daughter. She keeps her daughter age appropriate. She dresses her age appropriate. She's making sure she's educated and taken care of. Her husband loves her daughter like he's her biological father. And even when she has her daughter dancing in videos of her, on her page, it's always appropriate. She's not doing anything inappropriate around her daughter. So a lot of people criticize women like Joseline, feeling like they're raunchy or they're inappropriate or they don't need to be publicized or whatever. But I'm not like that. I feel like she is a free spirited, sexually liberated woman who taps into her dark feminine energy. She knows what she wants. She's a go-getter. She's a sex symbol. And there is an audience for that. She's an adult entertainer. I don't ever criticize or you're not ever going to hear me shaming a woman who owns her sensuality, shows skin, whatever it is that she wants to dance provocatively, because she's a grown ass woman, first of all. And then she is an adult entertainer. Her music and her art form is not for children. Clearly, when she's around her own child, she's not doing what she's doing online or at her shows or whatever, because it's not appropriate. Same with Cardi B. You'll see Cardi B on live rapping her lyrics, and if her daughter is about to walk into the room, she turns it off. The same way every parent has a right to censor what their children listen to, what their children consume. So I just wanted to shout out the elevation of Joseline. She does say that she's sober now, because again, I'm not saying that her doing drugs and alcohol was just about Stevie J, because there have been some scenes that have been shown when she's with her current husband where she seemed like she might be on that yayo, and she's fighting and doing the most. So it's not just about her relationship with CBJ, it's about her relationship with herself and the healing work that she's had to do in order to be sober, in order to change her image, in order to take charge of her career. So I just wanted to shout her out about that, because no, she's not the cookie cutter, modest, perfect patty woman, but she is her own woman. She has her husband that she says is her husband. I don't know if they're legally married or not, because she used to call Stevie J her husband. I don't know if they were legally married, but she has her husband. She's a mother. She's a businesswoman. She looks beautiful. She's confident. She took her power back from someone who was manipulating her and trying to keep her at a certain level, keeping her down, threatening her livelihood to send her back to the strip club. And now she's broken out of that situation and has matured, sobered up, and she's bossed up. So shout out to Joseline Hernandez. I think she looks good. She looks great. And I think that even, Zeus is probably the start of many great things that she may do, where it's not, because from the clips that I've seen from her show, there's a lot of yelling. There's some belittling going on there. So I feel like the more she heals, the more that she evolves, she will shift to a more positive type of show. But right now, everybody grown, everybody signing up for what they signing up for. So I just want to recognize her growth in the areas that she has grown. So cheers to you, Joseline. Another excuse to go down some more this punch too. Oh, child. So another topic that I wanted to get into today, y'all know Bambi. We've talked about her recently. We talked about the situation with her and Scrappy, her ex-husband, and him having a new baby after their divorce with a woman that he had somewhat of a threesome with. And now I wanted to discuss her and her new relationship because she's been publicly seeing, I think he's a rapper named Rayface. I ain't do all my research on him because I'm just talking about the situation. But so she's been publicly dating him for a couple of months. I don't know how long they've actually been together. But he recently proposed, and Bambi is close with the lady Sierra from Love and Hip Hop as well, and she's been married and engaged quite a few times. Carly Red's been engaged quite a few times. So there are certain women on the Love and Hip Hop series that have either been engaged a lot of times on the show or they've been married multiple times. So Sierra was a part of the proposal. She brought out the cake that said, "Will you marry me?" And she was standing there when Bambi's fiance proposed. And so let me just look up this one fact because I don't know the answer before I talk about it. So very interesting. It says that Bambi and Scrappy divorced in 2023 after 5 years of marriage. I thought they just divorced last year, but apparently because we were behind on the news because Love and Hip Hop is filmed quite a few months before it's actually aired. So since we saw them as a married couple after 2023, got me confused. So I guess they've been divorced since 2023. So she's just getting engaged again. And a lot of people in the comments feel like it's too soon for her to get engaged after this divorce. So again, if they got divorced in 2023, I don't know what else has transpired since then. I know it's been publicized with him kind of like rekindling his relationship with Erica Dixon, whether it was just rekindling it as a baseline friendship or rekindling it. They may have dated a little while. It was kind of like up in the air. We don't know. But with Bambi, she just publicized this new relationship. I don't know how long she's been dating him. But a lot of people felt like it was too soon. I wanted to read some of the comments. So some of the comments in response of the proposal, some people just said congratulations and left it at that. Someone else said, y'all play with marriage too much. That's why it doesn't hold the same value as it used to. Say what you want, but she gets wifed. That is all. Someone else said, damn, y'all don't be healing at all. Someone said, why y'all keep telling her to heal? Scrap got a whole new baby and y'all said congratulations. Get the hell out of here. Congratulations, Bambi. And someone else said, I'm still trying to figure out how she made it past the hot tub scene. So if anyone remembers, Bambi was first introduced to, I want to say, the Love and Hip Hop franchise when she was in the hot tub with Kirk and Benzino. So a lot of people felt like she already had a tainted image before Lil Scrappy married her, which that's her business. If she was in the hot tub when she was single, Kirk was married at the time. I don't know. She was there for Benzino. I don't know. It might have just been she was an extra because a lot of this stuff is produced and scripted. But as far as the mixed comments, so some people are like, yeah, girl, go get married, on to the next. You ain't got to sit down and wait for nobody approval for you to go on to the next marriage. You feel like people are thinking you have to heal so long. And then on the other end, people are saying she needs to heal. She needs to sit down. It seems like all these people are just collecting checks. I mean, collecting rings, checks too. Hell. And, for the comment that said, y'all play with marriage too much and that's why it doesn't hold the same value as it used to. I think there is some validity in that because marriage isn't as permanent as it used to be. Like, because for most reason, it's because the laws have changed. So back in the day, women weren't allowed to get loans or get certain things without a man's signature. Some of them weren't allowed to legally divorce. There's multiple reasons why marriages lasted as long as they did back in the day. And not all of them was about love and family. Some was about obligation, financial abuse, not having certain rights. So that's a part of why marriages are so easily to be thrown away, because women have rights now. Women aren't tolerating the same things, and they're making their own money, so they're not dependent on men as much anymore. Another part of it is I don't think the shame is there anymore as much. Now, there are some people that will look at you and be like, oh, you divorced, that's a red flag. Or you've been married more than once or whatever. Even, especially with Kevin Samuels used to kind of shame women that have been engaged multiple times, like saying they're collecting rings, like Thanos, whatever that character's name is. So there is some shame still in modern times about being engaged multiple times, having multiple marriages, or getting divorced, but it's not the same as it used to be. Back then, it was more so about, biblical religious obligations, staying with somebody through thick and thin, rich or poor, sickness and health, death do you part. The vows were really honored. And now it's more so like just another shaming tactic for the women against men type of rhetoric. So I can understand what she's saying as far as people don't hold as much value. So it's like so easy to be like, oh, let's get married. And then there are some women who really just crave that title. They want to be wife. They feel like that is just a superior title, a superior position. And it is the goal for a lot of women. So some women value that title and that position and that role so much that they don't even give a damn who puts them in that position. It's just a matter of wanting to be able to say they're somebody's wife. And watching Bambi's content over the years and her on Love and Hip Hop, you will often hear her arguing with Erica Dixon about the fact that she was Scrappy's wife and Erica was just a baby mama. So even when she's referred to, when Scrappy will call her baby mama number 2, or he'll say my BM or my baby mama, and she'll be like, who are you talking about, Erica? And he like, no, I was referring to you. I'm not your baby mama, I'm your ex-wife. So clearly being able to use that title, she's used it in an argument directly with Erica Dixon. She's like, I'll never be a baby mama, I've been his wife. And Erica will be like, well, he wanted me to be his wife, he proposed to me, I turned it down. So people have this title that they're really going for. So not to say that she's not in love with the man that she's with now and that she doesn't know what she wants and knows how to vet for longevity in this new marriage if she decides to go through with it. But we do know that she does prioritize being married. So sometimes, you really have to evaluate your intentions as a woman and your priorities. So if your priority is to be married, you have to make sure that you're going for that out of desiring a successful marriage and your real reasons of why this is an intention for you that you've set, and not operating out of desperation or urgency or pettiness or competition, because that happens too. I have gone through it myself in my early years, just wanting to as petty as it sounds, it could be wanting to be able to say, oh, he married me and he didn't marry you, talking, to his exes, or just to be able to say that you have a ring and somebody else doesn't, being able to stunt on the gram, on social media. I think social media really did have an effect on marriages as well, because a lot of people are living the perfect social media relationship, and behind closed doors is really not like that. So they love to do the photo shoots and make the big announcements and show the ring and have the beautiful, big, extravagant engagements. And it's beautiful when it's real, when it's authentic, even when it's not, because a lot of us can't tell. But then when you get a glimpse behind the scene, or it goes left and then they're battling on the same social media platform that they were just doting over each other on, it kind of makes it seem like, what were the real intentions? So I would just say, when it comes to, um is it too soon for her to get married? No one else can tell her what that timeline should be. It's her, as an adult woman, making those decisions. And she has to be the one willing to assess her own life. She is a mother of three. So she probably does want some stability in her home. She probably does want her children to be raised in a two-parent home, even if that second parent is a step parent. She does co-parent with Scrappy. So it's her decision on whether or not she feels like she's ready. And hopefully she's making the right decision for herself and for her children. Because if they get married, this is going to be their stepfather or bonus father, however you like to describe it. And only she knows when she's ready. So she has to take in consideration all of that. And hopefully it's not a revenge marriage, because her ex-husband just went and had a baby from a random woman that he didn't know. Hopefully it's not a petty engagement or marriage trying to stunt on somebody. Hopefully it's not a marriage or an engagement out of desperation because you don't want to be by yourself. Hopefully it is, this man has shown me something. He aligns with my values. This is the man I can see myself with forever. He's a great role model for my children. He makes me feel like this, and that. I know that I'm over this situation. I've healed. I've done the work. I'm ready for this. I know that I desire to be a wife, and this man deserves me as his wife. And all we can do at this point is wish her the best, hope for the best, and mind our business. But I will say, for us, you know, what we can pull from this, what lessons we can pull from this, is what I just said. Just make sure that you are ready. Make sure it makes sense to you. It's not about what other people think, because everybody's gonna have an opinion. But just make sure it's right for you. And hopefully they've had these conversations, behind closed doors, and it wasn't just a random. I believe with engagements, I know every woman is, the element of surprise is beautiful when you have a surprise engagement, and you don't know when this man is going to propose. But I don't think it should be, that out of your mind. Like, it should be conversations had to between you as a couple, so that you all are on the same page and you know that this is what you both want. Because you've seen some proposals where the woman is off guard and she doesn't say yes, or she says no, or she walks off, or she looks embarrassed because it came out of nowhere. And he's probably, there's some toxic stuff. My cousin recently did her and her content junkie crew, shout out to Zakia_3. They did a skit where they did a proposal in public. And she was looking like, everybody was coming around with their phones out, and she was looking like, what is going on? And then when he got down to propose, and everybody's like, oh, and she's like, oh no, he's doing too much. He just got caught cheating. And then she pours a drink or a cup of ice and water on his chest and walks out. The crowd was not aware that it was a skit. So they like, bring your ass back here, and calling her out of her name and stuff. And it was funny. It went viral. But I'm just saying, stuff like that actually happens in real life, because in that scenario, it was like, okay, you just got caught cheating. We're not in a good place in our relationship. What makes you think this is an appropriate time to propose to me? So things like that, make it make sense. If you're going to propose, make sure that it is a conversation that has been had before, y'all on the same page of wanting to be together for long term, and you have happiness in your relationship. I've seen over the years people thinking that once they get married, all of their problems are going to magically disappear and fizzle out. The marriage is going to solve everything. Like, once we get engaged, once I put this ring on her finger, we going to be straight. She ain't going to nag me no more. Once we get married, we going to be good. This is the next chapter of our life. No. Once you get married, all of the problems that you have in your relationship are going to magnify. They're going to amplify. They're going to expand, because it's something about getting married that just shines the lights on all of the problems that you've been ignoring, all of the issues that you've been sweeping under the rug, all of the red flags that have been waving, all of the arguments that you have been having. It's like when you get married, they just expand and explode, because marriage is not the antidote to the problems. It does not fix them. It shines a light on them. So I just say, make sure that you're not trying to use marriage and those rings as a band-aid to problems in a relationship. So if it's something you've discussed, you're on the same page about, those are both your intentions, you're both looking to marry, and you have a great relationship, yeah, by all means, go for it. Sometimes those second marriages work out better because you've learned a lot from the first one. So, I wish her the best. I wish, both of them the best. Hopefully it works out well. Now, the next topic I wanted to discuss is, let me pull up my Sage post. Shout out to _4_she's on Instagram. He says, preach, you speak facts. Thank you. This is coming from a woman who was married at a young age, thinking that marriage was going to be the antidote. So I'm not just talking from research, I'm talking from experience as well. So the other topic that I wanted to get into today is Tyrese. Tyrese, yeah. Tyrese has been with his woman, Zelly Timothy, for 5 years. She made a post. And she says, when love is real, it heals, it elevates, and it just feels right. Through every season, every lesson, and every moment, we've built something solid. Something that only we understand. Grateful for a love that sees me, hears me, and protects me. Grateful for us. Happy anniversary, my babies, Tyrese. Here's to forever. And she posted some cute pictures of them or whatever. And I saw a lot of interesting comments, so I wanted to talk about it. Y'all see me scratching my face and stuff. It's because my allergies are acting up. Spring is on the way. I'm in Georgia. The flowers are blooming. The trees that have the flowers in them, can't remember the name of them, they're blooming. They have bloomed. So the pollen is in the air. But so a lot of people had something to say. Someone says she deserves an award. Someone says still holding tight to her crybaby, I see. Someone said, oh, I'm so happy for them. Another comment, oh, so he was in a whole relationship for real while crying over his ex-wife? Correct me if I'm wrong. Someone asked if they were married. Someone said, woo, that's a strong lady. Someone said 5 years and 34 public breakups with the rolling eye emoji. Someone said bro got his daughter back and seemed to be happy in love, so y'all can get up off of the homie. Another commenter said, I'm glad he ain't crying no more because I'd be very worried. Someone said 5 years of unwedded bliss. Another commenter said, please don't get married again, Tyrese. You don't have a good picker. So someone else is saying the pics look funny. Um, where's the ring? Congratulations, and please get a prenuptial agreement this time. So it's definitely mixed reviews, but I did see somebody on Threads basically criticizing the fact that she's been with him for 5 years, just a relationship. But as a reminder, if they do get married, it would be Tyrese's third marriage. So I'm pretty sure he's either not trying to get married again or taking his time. And in the past 5 years while they've been together, most of them he has been publicly fighting, battling with his ex-wife and wives, I guess. Um, he has been publicly hurting. He just put out an album last year, and most of the album was about his emotional pain and struggles with what he went through with his ex. So that is a lot, to be in a relationship and to be with someone while they're healing from another woman. She is younger. Let me see what the age gap is. Tyrese is 46 and a Capricorn. Yeah, I know how I feel about Capricorn men. I can't do it. And they say his woman is a Leo, and I'm a Leo, and I don't know. I don't think Leo women and Capricorn men get along, but maybe my experience is different. But she is 29. So she is almost 20 years younger than him. So I don't know, y'all. I don't know what the plan is for their relationship, but some people want to know, is it truly real for her and him, or is she a placeholder? And when it comes to placeholders, I don't know. I think he really does like her. I don't know if he's trying to do the long-term thing and get married and all that. But for right now, it might just be a right now relationship where they're just in the moment and loving each other and just taking it one step at a time. But I will say that I've seen relationships where a man is using a woman as a placeholder. And I just want to say you have to be careful. Women can do it too. Women can use men as placeholders too. But in the situations where I've seen women as placeholders, it's like some men, I guess all men, according to my aunt says it like this. Men, I think she says men date who they can, basically. Um, in so many words. And I've seen it where a man will date a woman and he's attracted to her, but she's not the baddest type of woman that he would want. But it's almost like he's settling for her because based on whatever he has to offer, that is the capacity of what he's able to attract. And it's not just financially. It's about who he is within himself, his confidence, and just his ability to be a man to a woman. Excuse me. And so I've seen it where they have made this woman their placeholder and then something in their life changes, whether that's their tax bracket, which then trickles down into their confidence, trickles down into their style, the type of places they frequent, the type of places they live in, the type of cars they drive. And instead of being with that woman that, and this doesn't apply to Tyrese because Tyrese has money and confidence and all those things. But just talking about the placeholder element, I've seen it where a man, you know, gets a higher tax bracket, their confidence shoots up, their style changes, they get a nicer place, nicer car, they have certain money to spend on certain things. And so that same woman that they were with when they didn't really have all that is no longer as attractive anymore. Now they like rubbing hands like Birdman, feeling like now that I have this new tax bracket, it has opened up a new level of dating experience that I can have. So instead of them saying, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and end it with this woman that I'm with because I'm no longer feeling like this is all I can get. They would keep her around while scoping out the scene, dating, and pursuing other women that they feel like they have privy to or access to with this newfound tax bracket. And then once the new woman that they feel like they have access to accepts them and wants them, then they'll break it off with the woman that was there when they ain't have it like that. Not saying all men, but I have seen this happen. And there are signs that the woman who was there from the beginning should be able to recognize, but seems to overlook. Like if they're not dating you as much, not taking you in public as much, your um, intimate relationship changes. There are just so many signs, and they just tend to ignore it. And the next thing you know, there's some type of sabotage happening, some type of scheme in order for the woman to leave. That's another thing I've seen. Not breaking up with a woman, but just throwing some rifts in there so that she has no choice but to break up with you. So just be careful. Don't be nobody's placeholder. The main sign is if you do want to be married and that is your intention to be married, you have to be the one to set the boundary with that. Do you just stick around and be like, well, there's nothing going on wrong in our relationship, so I'm just going to stay here and be his long-term girlfriend, even though I desire to be a wife? Or are you going to set the intention that, look, I want to be married? I think those intentions should be set in the beginning. Like, let somebody know what it is that you're wanting and where you are in your life. If you're in the season where you're dating intentionally for marriage, and this person that you get with says, well, right now I'm just having fun, then that's not your person. Sometimes people say that their intention is to be married too, but then do their actions align with their words? Are they being intentional with getting to know you, getting to know your family, talking about future plans, not just talking about them, but being about them, taking the different steps to meet those different plans? If you have goals like, okay, before we get married, I want to make sure I got this going on financially. I want to make sure that I set up us a house right over here. I want to make sure that our health is up to par so we can be prepared to have children. But they're not doing anything to make more money. They're not doing anything to make sure that their credit and everything is set up so they can get a certain house that they said they want before y'all get married and have children. They're not pouring into their health and taking anything seriously with that. The actions aren't aligning with the words. So even if marriage was put on the table, is it smart or wise for you to go forward with it when nothing that has been planned or put in place is adding up? Or if it's not happening, then that's your telltale sign to be like, look, we're not going in the direction that we said we was wanting to go in, and it's curving me off of the direction I would like to be going in. So we have to just be real with ourselves. And that's how people end up being placeholders, because maybe the man's intentions were to get married. But then after y'all are together for a while, he realizes that you're not his person. And again, just like most divorces are initiated by women, I feel the same way about breakups too, even though I don't have the statistics right in front of me. A lot of times men wait for you to break up with them. So they sabotage the relationship by either making you miserable or they show up miserable. And you're not paying attention to the signs, and you're just hanging on by a thread, thinking that all we need to do is get engaged and get married and everything's going to be all right. Meanwhile, he's trying to stall you out to wait and see how long it's going to take you to break up with him so he can move on. And that's why you see relationships lasting for years and years and years. And it's like, damn, they was together for 18 years. They broke up. He done got married 6 months later. Yeah, he didn't want to marry you. So there are ways to avoid being placeholders, and most of it depends on you knowing who you are, knowing yourself, and knowing what you want. And that's why your ass need a damn life coach. That's why you need to visit www. No, I'm just playing. I'm not playing, but I'm not trying to make it a commercial. But This is true. You do need to know who you are, and you do need to be able to know what it is that you want and be intentional with yourself. Be honest with yourself. And doing the healing work and the self discovery work and the self love, pouring into yourself, gaining confidence and clarity in love, life, and dating, it allows you to vet properly. It allows you to see and recognize the red flags. It allows you to be able to align with the type of partner that matches your values, your interests, your desires, your preferences. And a lot of people don't know where to start with that. So, again, I am a life coach. I do support people on their journey of healing, self love, self discovery, and intentional dating. So, a lot of people don't know how to date intentionally. A lot of people don't know how to vet. A lot of people don't know what it is, what the hell they want. And that's why when asked, what are you looking for in a partner? Um, one of the ladies on Ready to Love, which I will be reviewing this week, when she was asked what she's looking for in a man, I just want them to be tall and kind. Girl, I'm all for being open minded and not, putting too many preferences and deal breakers in there. But you need a little bit more than that, because tall and kind could be tall, kind, and crazy, could be tall, kind, and boring, could be tall, kind, and abusive, could be tall, kind, and ugly, tall, kind, don't want to do anything, tall, kind, dumb. So we need to be more specific with what we want. And sometimes you just need someone to hold space while you figure that out, to give you some tools and guidance to help you to discover yourself. Because, like my business coach and friend, Dahl Levant says, you don't get what you want, you get who you are. So just working on yourself and elevating and evolving and just getting to a certain level so that you can attract what it is that you are putting out in the world. You need a life coach that can hold space for you, that can support you, that can give you the tools, give you the exercises, help you unpack, help you develop. And that is who I am. So visit oshacerese.com. You can sign up for a course, of course, no pun intended. One single step at a time is a healing course. It's 6 weeks long, a healing workshop. It is guided and it comes along with weekly coaching. So this program, one single step at a time, it is for you to unpack your baggage from past relationships, from childhood trauma, from all of the things that you probably haven't addressed that you're carrying from one relationship to the next. That inner child healing, that shadow work, you going over your relationship timeline and figuring out what the hell happened in these relationships, what happened to me, what did I accept, and what did I contribute. You're also learning who you are. What do you like? What are your interests? What are your passions? What fills you up? What fills your cup? Self love tips, tools, exercises. The list goes on. Once we get through all of that work, then we're going to work on your plan of action for the future in life, love, and career. What is it that you're trying to do going forward? What is the plan of action to meet those goals? And holding you accountable so that you don't fall off the wagon. So that is what the one single step at a time program is including. It also comes with the weekly coaching, as I mentioned before, and it comes with the How to Beat Single guided journal. So this guided journal has many, many exercises, tools, tips, and story times in there that you can connect with and relate to and help you on your journey of healing. And if you just want to get the journal itself, it is available as well on oshacerese.com. It gives you a lot of the work that you would get in the program, but you on your own. You self-paced. You're not really on your own because I'm giving you the tools. It's a guided journal, but you don't have the coaching or the time frame. You can you can be self-paced. If you want something a little bit simpler than the one single step at a time course, you can always enroll into 5 ways in 5 days. That's the self-love workshop that teaches you how to incorporate your love languages into your daily acts of self-love and self-care. It also teaches you how to uncover any blockages you may have with giving and receiving love, which many of us do. We're wondering, why am I outpouring all of this love and pouring into everybody else, but when it's time to give, or when it's time to receive, I can't, I have a blockage. I don't know how to allow. I don't know how to receive. I don't know how to ask. It allows you to figure that out. Some people are just getting, receiving, and not giving it. They have a blockage when it comes to showing love, showing affection. So it helps you to unpack and figure that out. Again, that program can be done in as little as 5 days, or you have up to 60 days to complete it. And it comes with one coaching session, one free coaching session. And if you don't know where to start, you don't know where you need to go, which direction you need to go in, just book a discovery call. It's free. We'll sit and talk and figure out what's the best direction for you. It might just be coaching sessions without the course. You might just need someone to hold space for you, to listen to you, to help you unpack certain things, or to help you come up with a plan of action. And outside of the healing, self-love, self-discovery, intentional love space, I'm also a content strategist. So if you are a business owner, influencer, content creator, curator, creator, creative, whatever you want to call it, business owner, you just need somebody to help you learn how to utilize or monetize your gifts. Like, you have these talents, you have these ideas, you don't know what the hell to do with them. Maybe you're not that great on social media. Maybe you're lacking the confidence on how to show up. Maybe you're just overwhelmed and you need somebody to help you organize. We can come up with a content strategy, a content plan. We can come up with some digital products for you to use, like ebooks, or to create ebooks, courses, whatever. I got you. You can just book a strategy session if that sounds like you, and fill out the form, pay your fee. We get on the call. I guarantee you, you're going to have what you need to be successful online. And what else I got? What else I got for you? Oh, yeah. Intentional Love Collective for the hopeful romantics. Those of us, because I'm included, who are intentional daters, hopeful romantics, looking for love in 2025. Make sure you join the Intentional Love Collective. I have not updated my website yet. I said I was going to do it by March 1st. Give me some grace. I got some things going in my personal life. So it's halfway updated. It's just not published yet, but it is in the link in my bio. So the Intentional Love Collective is a growing community and database of singles who are hopeful romantics, intentional daters, looking for love in 2025. It allows me to curate events that are more intimate. So when you walk into this singles mixer or this speed dating event, it's not just a bunch of randoms. It's a bunch of hand-picked people, hand-selected people who match your interests, your values, and your preferences. Also gives me the opportunity to do some matchmaking, because if I see that your preferences align with someone else on the list, guess what? I'm going to match y'all up and send y'all on a date. So it's free to join. It's the Intentional Love Collective. We got some more exciting things, exciting news and things coming up with the Intentional Love Collective as well. Stay tuned for that. So also, one more thing before we wrap up. I'm going to give y'all some journaling prompts too. But if you have a story to tell, a situation that you want to unpack, if you have any type of feedback or questions or concerns or whatever, and you want me to help you unpack it on the show, or if you need some advice and you just want to send it anonymously, you can always email me at oshacerese@gmail.com. That's OSHACERESE@gmail.com. Shout out to The Word. Says, just found your channel. I'm also a certified life coach and would love to do a collaboration. Awesome. Shout out to the certified life coaches of the world. Email me, please. OshaCerese@gmail.com. That's OSHACERESE@gmail.com. So again, thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel and that your notifications are on, because this is a weekday show. It's a pop-up show. And you never know when I'm going to pop up on y'all asses. So you want to be informed. Again, it was a daily show last month. The goal was to show up every day for an hour, and we did that. So now it's weekday. So if y'all don't see me on the weekend, don't think that there's no show. It's just the weekdays now. Some of the takeaways from today's show: Black women, we deserve rest. We deserve support. We deserve appreciation, reciprocation, all of the things. Shout out to us. It's Women's History Month. We're going to be talking about some women in history and of today, and shining light on the women's this month. Also, we talked about Joseline Hernandez and just how she's transformed her pain into power, and her past, she didn't allow her past to define her. She is transmuting all of that sexual, sensual energy that she has as a former stripper, and she is utilizing that dark feminine energy to show up and be confident and be talented and be fearless and elevate and evolve. She's not probably exactly where she wants to be in all areas of her life, but the growth is there and we see it. So we did shout out Joseline Hernandez today. And love and commitment, should align with your values and goals. So don't settle for less than you deserve. We talked about Bambi getting engaged after her recent divorce from Scrappy. Is it too soon? I say, as long as it aligns with her values and she knows that she's not operating out of a energy of desperation, then congratulations, go for it. Happy marriage, happy life. I wish it success. And then we also talked about Zelly Timothy's relationship with Tyrese. A lot of people are judging it because it's 5 years. Um, most of the time in their relationship, she's been been there with him through his traumas with his past relationships and his ex-wives. And people are wanting to know, is she a placeholder? So I told y'all some signs that you may be a placeholder. And all it is you need to figure out what it is that you want and deserve. And once things don't align with that and you've had conversations and it's not going in the right direction, you have to make a decision on whether or not you're going to keep pursuing that. So the journaling prompts I want to leave you with is, when we talked about Black women having to solve everybody's problems, have you ever felt like you were fixing everybody's problems? How did it impact you? Are you the problem solver? Are you the solutions oriented person? Are you the superhero? Do you have your cape on trying to save every damn body else? How is this impacting you? If you've ever rushed into or hesitated in a relationship, what do you think was the driving force of that decision? So whether you rushed or you hesitated, because a lot of people is doing either or, either you're rushing, you're going too fast, or you're self-sabotaging for some reason. What was driving that decision? And the last prompt, are you staying in any situation, whether it's relationship, friendship, or job, or anything else, out of habit rather than genuine fulfillment? Again, are you staying in any situation, relationships, friendships, jobs, whatever the case, out of habit rather than genuine fulfillment? Yes, yes. Broken Tradition says, I'm happy to hear that about Joseline Hernandez. Yes. I mean, I see the glow up. I wanted to recognize her because I do see the glow up for sure. She's sober now. She's got a man. Her and her man, they've had some moments just like she did with Stevie J, but I think both of them are getting on track. Again, I do recognize that she's still a part of some of the toxic entertainment on Zeus Network, but now she's executive producer. She's taking charge of her life, touring. People know her music. People know her songs. So I see the elevation and the growth. I want to recognize that. Again, y'all know where to find all of my services and offerings, oshacerese.com. If you want to email me, it's oshacerese@gmail.com. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Your notifications are on. Hit me up if it's anything you want to share with me, something you want to unpack on the show. Let me know. Until next time, make sure those notifications are on because you don't know when I'm going to pop up tomorrow, and neither do I. So I hope y'all have a wonderful night. Thank you for those of you who tuned in live. I appreciate you. And for those of you who are watching the playback, make sure you share your feedback in the comments. I will talk to y'all later. Have a wonderful night, and I will see you tomorrow.